Good morning, guys. How are you? How's it going? Morning. I'm good. I'm good. All right. So, very good morning, everyone. Yeah. All right. So, what did we discuss in the last class, guys? RDS database services, basically, right? Okay. So, shootout round. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and if you want to create a databases, RDBMS databases, which services do you choose? RDS. What is the full form of RDS? Relational Database Services. And RDS supports what type of databases? What type of databases? RDBMS databases. And how many engines does it support? 6 engines. Can you put in single line those engines, not one by one, in single line? Bumpy, good. Okay. So remember, right? Okay. All right. Hmm. MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, Postgres, MariaDB, and Aurora. Good. That is definitely a certification question, guys. All right. So RDS is a database? No, it's a database service. Very good. It's a database service. Okay. So which is a NoSQL service in AWS? Dynamo. Okay. So, and if which services support data warehouses? Redshift. Okay. Which is database caching, in-memory caching service? Elastic Cache. Fantastic. So what is VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. Fantastic. Okay. So VPC is your isolated virtual network for your servers. Which one is the DNS service in AWS? Route 53. What is 53 there? It's a DNS port number. Good one. So if you don't want to use the shared internet connection from your company to AWS, and AWS is providing a service for like a lease line connection. What is that? Direct connect. And if you want to improve the performance of the website by caching it, which service do you choose? CloudFront. And CloudFront has what? Edge locations. Edge locations are connected through what network? Content delivery network. Super. Very good. Excellent, guys. Too good. Fantastic. Let me share my screen now. Okay, so we discussed yesterday those services. Let us move on to the next one, which is security and identity services. In security and security services, in identity services, the first service that we're going to talk about, an important service, is IAM. What is that? IAM, identity and access management. That's very important service. Identity and access management. Okay, so now, guys, identity and access management. So the name itself is saying that access management. What is that? Access management. Now tell me, guys, now everyone have their own accounts now at the moment. Yes or no? Everyone have their own accounts. Accounts meaning not your SBI account or HDFC account, AWS account, right? So everyone have their own AWS account. Okay, so everyone have their own AWS account, and then if at all you generate any bill, who will be paying it? Individual persons or not? Yes, good. Okay, now let's say, guys, let's say we are all in one company. Let's say we are all in one company, and I am the team lead for your and for all of us. For now, just imagine I'm the team lead for all of our 40 members or 45 members. Now we are all working in a AWS project. Now, can you just, with normal sense, can you just tell me, if you are working in one company in a one team, do we need to have your own individual main accounts or only one main account? One main account, and we'll be using that account. Yes or no? Excellent. So guys, in general, whenever basically in IAM, okay, right, okay, let's say we have only one main. So I have only one main account. Inside this main account, I will be creating users for you. I'll be creating users for you. Let's say here, Krishna. So guys, I have my AWS account, main account. That's how you created it. But you will not be creating by your own now in your company. So in company's main account, there they will be creating one user, not each user for you, each and individual user for you. So I'll create a user called Krishna, I'll create a user called Sripad, I'll create a user called Ansari, I'll create a user called Munna, I'll create a user called Sweetie. Guys, whenever you log in with that user, indirectly you are logging with to my account only. Yes or no? Yes. If you do something nasty there, who will be paying the bill? It's me. It's me, not Krishna. Okay, it's me, main user. So guys, so here, and then guys, I have created users, and now let's say I have Saurav as a user. Okay, whenever Saurav logged into the account, what all the services does he need to access? Does it, guys, in general, if any user, like, let's say Saurav is very new to the AWS, do I need to give his admin permissions in my AWS account? No. And Saurav is only capable of doing, for example, he want to give access on, I want to give him access only to EC2. So in IAM, I can handle this access management. So for Saurav, I can give only EC2 permissions. For Rohit, I can give only S3 permissions. For Sweetie, I give only EFS permissions. For Krishna, I'll give only RDS permissions. And for Tapas, I might give full permissions, admin permissions. Guys, can I manage the users like this and give the access based on the requirement? Make sense? These are all the things. Basically, you are controlling the entire AWS environment using IAM. Do you agree? To whom you need to give the permissions, right? To what kind of permissions they need and who will be using it. All these things, we will identify the persons and will manage the access for them. Where? In the service called IAM. Don't call it as IAM. IAM. Right? So when you go to interview and if you say, hey, on which services you work a lot? IAM. So he'll just put two hands in his pocket, he'll just get up and he'll just go away, right? So the thing is here, it's not IAM, so it's not IAM, it is IAM, right? Pronounce it as IAM, Identity and Access Management. Guys, you got a rough idea about what? So you can control the entire AWS account. Excuse me. Sorry, there's no time to mute. So okay, so you can control the entire AWS account using IAM by giving proper permissions to the users. Guys, yeah, yeah. Okay. So guys, so in IAM, we just now how many types of users? We just discussed two types of users, right? So in IAM, we discussed just two types of users. Let's say here in IAM, there are two types of users, guys. In IAM, there are two types of users. One is, guys, IAM users. Guys, we call it as IAM users or accounts also, IAM accounts. Okay, there are two types of IAM users or IAM account. There are two types of accounts. It is going really bad. So let me put it as in IAM, there's two types of accounts. Accounts or users. Users or accounts. Okay. Number one, we call it as root user. And number two, we call it as IAM user. What is that? Root user or IAM user. Guys, I'm back. Can you hear me? All right. Sorry, there was a power cut early morning here. No high availability. Okay, so I was talking about this, there are two types of users or two types of accounts. We have it in AWS. So those are root user and IAM user, guys. So everyone have their own accounts now, right? So guys, can you tell me, you have the accounts with you? Can you tell me those are root accounts or IAM accounts? The one which you have it, those are root accounts or IAM accounts? Definitely it would be a root account. So root account is the one which you have it. That meaning, guys, and can you also tell me that, first of all, what's the difference between root user and IAM user? Root user has full permissions and IAM user has a limited permissions based on the requirement. Do you agree? Right? So here, root user has full permissions. That meaning he is a admin. He can do whatever he want. And IAM user has limited permissions. Limited permissions. So what I do is, guys, here in basically in real time in the company, we don't create root accounts for each and every one. So we'll have a company account. Inside that, we will create these IAM users to the individual employees. And based on our permissions that we give it, right, they will have access for that. So, but guys, permissions meaning what? Permissions are nothing but policies. What? Policies. Permissions are nothing but policies. So EC2 policy. So EC2 full access, that's a policy. S3 full access is a policy. We'll just select those policies and we'll attach it to the IAM user. You understand that? Policy permissions are nothing but policies. Permissions are nothing but policies. Right? Policies meaning rules. Like, okay, guys, remember, we'll go deeper into the IAM later, but remember policies. We will give, there are different types of policies in AWS, in IAM. EC2 full access, EC2 read-only access, IAM full access, IAM read-only access, S3 full access, S3 read-only access. So we will be just selecting these policies to the IAM users. Those are called permissions. Permissions are nothing but policies. Sir, you can ask, sir, how do you identify as a root user and IAM user? Remember, guys, whenever you're logging in with, email ID and password, then that would be your root user. And whenever you're logging with username and password, and that is your IAM user. That is your IAM user. This is how you recognize. Guys, can you tell me, everyone you are with to your AWS account, you're logging with email ID and password or username and password? It is asking for email ID and password. Yes, right? So that meaning that is your root account. And whenever it might ask you to log in as a root account or to log in as an IAM user. Did you saw that login page? Yes, right? Now you're able to understand. So root user meaning the email ID and password, the main account. IAM user meaning, guys, you can create your own IAM user in your root account and you can log in with that IAM user. That is what we'll be doing it. Guys, can you tell me, is it recommended to use root account for our for general purpose, for daily tasks and all? For you, for now you can use, but in general we will see in the IAM the difference, why we should not use the root account and why we should be using the IAM user. Guys, remember, root user has full permissions. Just in case if something happened, your email ID is hacked, it's gone. So it's not good. So we will be seeing very deeper into this IAM topic when we go into the actual session on IAM. Guys, now you understood a little bit of IAM, what we do with the IAM, right? You can secure, right? You can secure your entire AWS account using this IAM. Guys, remember, so if general question would be, guys, general questions would be, people will, in interview, they might ask, they might ask, how do you secure the AWS environment? There are many things that we can secure. So you can say that you can secure AWS environment using, remember, shared model. You need to talk about shared model. Initially, we have discussed shared model. You need to talk about VPC. You need to talk about this IAM, and you need to talk about security groups. Security groups we haven't discussed, but we will discuss in the EC2 section. But generally, if anyone asks you, how do you secure your environment, AWS environment, just talk about first about the shared model, right? In infrastructure as a service, what we are responsible and what AWS is responsible, and what all we are responsible, how do we secure it? Using VPC, using this IAM, using security groups. There are many topics. For now, we have discussed only this. So guys, this would be a general common interview question for you in AWS. Guys, is this clear till here, everyone? Right? So this is a small trailer on this IAM, and we'll discuss much better in the next coming days. I know you're curious to know more, but let us. Okay, so guys, here now you understand, manage user access to AWS resources through policies. Make sense? IAM meaning now? Excellent. So guys, next is here inspector. Guys, what generally inspector does? SI, sub inspector, police. What he does? He monitors the city. He investigate. He'll analyze, and he will find any thieves are coming in, any security issues, right? So the same thing in AWS, this inspector will do. We don't need to do more. We don't need to go much on it. So basically, guys, he will, if you enable this inspector, it will analyze the behavior of AWS resources, right? In our childhood, in every class, there will be an inspector. He'll analyze all the students' behavior. He will be giving all the updates to ma'am or sir, class teacher, right? So that is basically, inspector, right? So inspector enables you to analyze the behavior of AWS services. Guys, he will not monitor. For monitoring is different here. He will just inspect. He'll just inspect the AWS resources. He will analyze the behavior, and then he will identify any potential security issues in AWS. If I ask you who will analyze the AWS behavior and all, you should say inspector, right? So you will there is only one questions you might commit here. It's not very important, but just remember, we don't do much on this inspector and trusted advisor. It's just the service that you have to know about it. And trusted advisor is like, if you have a trusted friend, we always have this guy, advisor, right? Free advising. Many friends will give us free advices. Hey, do that, do this, you will be better in the career, do that, do boom, right? So here also in AWS, there is our trusted advisor, where we'll help you to reduce the cost, if you're going bad way, if you're doing some bad ways, if you're not secure, and if you're using unnecessary things, and if you're using 100 GB and but if you're allocated 100 GB and using only 20 GB, right? So all these things basically, and how to increase the performance, what is the how to improve the security, all these things will be given by you this trusted advisor service. If you open this trusted advisor, generally it will give a list of things that that how do you, if just in case if you miss some security, just in case if you're doing really bad in AWS services, he will advise you, boss, shut up, don't do that and do this, right? Yeah, and unnecessarily you are you're doing much, and then that is not required, you're paying a lot, reduce this. So these kind of things will be given by this trusted advisor, right? He will give you the advice. Is this clear? Inspector and trusted advisor. Okay, good. So we have something called application services. Guys, remember in on-premises, guys, do you remember Exchange servers? How do you receive emails? Through Exchange server, right? In on-premises, we have email servers, right? In on-premises, we have email servers, right? So we need to configure these email servers, incoming, outgoing mails, and blah, 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 blah. But guys, here in AWS, if you want to send emails from AWS, there is a service called SES. Can you tell me the full form of SES? What is SES? Can you guess the full form of SES? Hey. Simple email service. Hey, Sairam. Everyone, I told you everything will start with simple and with service. Right? So simple email service. So guys, just remember SES meaning simple email service, which is used to send emails. That's all. And guys, we have something called SNS. Intelligence. See? What is SNS? Simple. No. Tapasu. Simple notification service. What is that? Notification service. Right? Simple notification service. No problem. Just a guess. Okay, see here. So SES meaning we know very well that is a simple email service, that meaning which is used to send emails. SNS meaning, let's say, I give this example all the time. See, if you have a server, EC2 instance running in AWS, and you are using only 2 GB RAM and then 20 GB hard disk. And if you are using it very hard, like, and then many people started accessing it, you're putting so much of component and you just left, and you went for sleep at night. And then many people started connecting it for that small chota EC2 instance with 2 GB RAM. And then many people started accessing it. What will happen? Yeah, it will cry. The instance will cry because it is beyond the capacity. And if everyone are utilizing that, it will not survive. So it will crash, or it will boom, it will go hang, and it will go bad. Before going hang, it will send a last letter to you meaning administrator, saying that, hey, you stupid, you have given me only 2 GB RAM and you are expected me to work as 200 GB RAM. You initially told me that only 2 people will be belonging to me. Now 20 people are working on me. This is not good. And I'm very upset. And this is the last notification from me to you. And I'm gonna die. Goodbye. Itlu? I mean, yours? Small EC2 instance. So guys, so basically, yeah, yours faithfully, right? So the thing is here, guys, if you want to send notifications from AWS to you, notifications. Not only if the CPU is getting high, if the memory is getting high, or if you want to get some notifications, and which is the service that you use to set up these notifications is SNS. Simple as that. N stand for notification. What is SNS? Simple notification service. What is this used for? To send notifications. Hey, sweetie, intelligent. What is SQS? Simple queue service. No. You're good, sweetie. Right? You wrote right. SQS. Next one is SQS. Simple queue service. Route 53. What not, Raghu? Not only Route 53 also uses SNS. What is the purpose? You already answered, Raghu. Route 53 uses SNS. Yes. So if something goes wrong, like with your Raghu.com, who will send the notification? SNS only. SNS will not only use for Route 53, it will be using for all the services, if at all you want to get notifications. Don't worry, we will go deeper later on it. Picture abhi baki hai mere dost. Let me talk about SQS. Guys, this SQS is, don't bang your heads. This is used by the developers. Simple queue service. This is used by the developers. This is developer's choice. Yeah. So, anyone, guys, here in this class use the queue services, like not AWS? What was that? What is that you are using? Apache Camel, RabbitMQ, yes. So those who are working on this, guys, you might know, yeah, Apache ActiveMQ, Apache RabbitMQ, right? These are all queue services. Those who don't know about these queue services, let me give you a rough example on this. Let's say you have here producer, okay, and then, okay, let me take only one, and then consumer. Guys, in queue service, we always say it as producer and consumer. What is that? Producer and consumer. Producer and consumer. Guys, producer meaning not your movie producer, right? Producer meaning who produce the data. Consumer, okay, I'm sorry, spelling mistake here. You just don't worry about all this thing, huh? It happens. If I want to write, okay, consumer. So consumer meaning, guys, those who consumes the data which is produced by the producer. Simple, right? There will be a producer who will be producing the data, right? Somewhere you will get the source, data source, right? Where data produces, and then your consumer is nothing but your applications. Your applications will be consuming that data, will receiving that data. So here, guys, there is something called asynchronous communication and synchronous communication. Right? And then synchronous communication. Okay, let me give you an example. See here. Okay, guys. Now, producer, see, consumer have a capacity of to taking the messages from the producer. Let's say it is sending, it has a capacity of taking 20 messages per second. It has a capacity of taking 20 messages from second from producer. And producer is started sending these messages to the messages to the consumer. How many messages? 20 messages per second. And consumer is taking and consuming these 20 messages. And now all of a sudden, producer started sending 2,000 messages per second, what will happen to the consumer? Boom, right? So it will not able to process it. So basically it will not able to process it, the messages. So guys, here this is called synchronous communication. So producer is completely dependent upon the consumer and consumer is completely dependent upon the producer. Do you agree? Producer is directly, right? Producer will be directly sending the messages to the consumer, and producer expect consumer to process all the messages and put it into the backend anywhere, your database or wherever it is. This is synchronous communication, but synchronous communication is not good because we never know what will happen, how much producer will be consuming it, and then how much consumer will consume it, produce it and consume it. And for this purpose, this is async. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is synchronous. Oh, yeah, sorry, I told right. So this is synchronous communication, and we have something called asynchronous communication. Yes, Nagraj, you are rightly said. This is tightly coupled. So tightly coupled meaning producer is dependent on consumer and consumer is dependent on producer. And what if I put something here like this, and then instead of producer sending directly to the consumer, can producer will be sending the messages inside this pipe, just like this, inside this pipe, and then consumer, instead of consuming from the producer directly, it will be consuming from this pipe, and that is called, this in between, this is called queue. This is called queue. This pipe is nothing but queue. There are many queue services, as many people rightly said, ActiveMQ, right? RabbitMQ, right? And then you have so many are there in your from Apache. It's there. There are many people, many softwares available in the market. As you know, AWS will not leave that. And then AWS has implemented his own service. Yeah, own service called SQS. That stands for Simple Queue Service. You know what? And this is serverless. Yeah, Nagaraj. So this is serverless. You know what? If you have this queue software in your company, that queue software has to be installed on the computer, on the machine, on the server, and you need to take care of the backup, you need to take care of the performance, you need to take care of the security, you need to take care of the high availability, you need to take over the scalability, you need to take care of this a lot. Why do you take care of all these things? Just use SQS and it is completely handled by AWS. What you do is you just create a queue and start using it. That's all. No need to do anything. No need to do anything. No need to you don't have even a such, like, you know, where I worked on this ActiveMQ Apache, where you see the number of messages there. You have to go to the console. You have to do a lot there. But here, everything is serverless, and the AWS has a nice console, just simply shows how many number of messages are pending and how many are already processed, and that's all. And that's why this is the first service launched by the AWS, and that's why developers have moved within a year. Lots of lakhs of developers have moved from on-premises to this SQS because it is very simple to use, and then it is very scalable, it is very reliable, and it is super performance because that is handled by AWS. Right? So guys, what we do is, guys, here, this is completely guys, developers, can you tell me from your mouse itself, this SQS is yours or everyone's? Developer's choice or what? It's developer related, right? Yes. So it is developer. So what we do here in is, I told you guys, there are few services which are used by the developers. Instead of just leaving it like that, we'll be talking about from the console how it works, and then what is SQS from her, and then from console how do we create a queues. Those are all things definitely I'll teach you, right? But remember, I don't create an application, start sending messages and start processing as a consumer. That is, you need to use Springs and whatnot, your Java applications to send blah. That is development related. Yes, there are many services, Balaji, that is under free tier. Yes. So, guys, this is a queue service, but of course, we'll be talking about this. There are two types of queues which AWS is giving it to you. So, there is called standard queue, and another one we call it as FIFO queue. What is FIFO? First in, first out. What is Lilo? Last in, last out. What is Mimo? Middle in, middle out. Huh? There is no Mimo. There is no Mimo. Okay. Yeah. So it's not Mimo, middle in, middle out. There is no chance that no one will come in the middle and it will not go up. Right. Yeah. So we have only two queues here. What are these two different types of queues, and what are the advantages, disadvantages, what is the differences and all, we'll be seeing in that SQS section. So this is just a simple to know a rough idea on this SQS. Is this clear, guys? Sir, can you relate to these real-time scenarios? Yeah, so let's say I'll take my scenarios itself. See, Raghu, I have ships. In our company, we deal with the ships, basically. Ships meaning in your oceans, we have cargo ship, passenger ships, and oil tankers and all ships, right? We get all the data. We get all the ships data. Guys, can you tell me if you're using a bike, right? If you're using a bike, can you tell me what all the things that you will be monitoring to your bike? Like you will be knowing the data of fuel, how much fuel you're using it, and how much speed you're going it, and which route you're going it, and then how is your sound, engine oil, right, escalator, and whatnot. Guys, for a small bike itself, you're getting this much of data. Just imagine a car, just imagine a bus, just imagine a big ship. Can you imagine how much ship sends the data, right? So I am responsible in my company to take all the data from the ship and put it to the satellite, and from the satellite I'll be taking into the cloud. So this is the architecture that I have developed in our company, right? So this is the area which we work. So basically, ships have a sensors. So sensors sense the data and will be collected by our software, and from there it will be sent it to our cloud. So ship sends this data one by one. All this data, this is a producer. Basically, the ships is a producer for us. There are many ships. We'll handle thousands, hundreds of ships, not thousands, hundreds of ships. And all the ships sends the data, and we have to put it. We take to the cloud, and we'll put it to the database. And the ships are from different companies and different clients. That's how do you handle all these things? How to take the data? I cannot take the data and put it dump on database directly, right? In that case, we'll be using these queues. All the ship messages will get into the queues one by one, and our application will take the queue, read the data from that packet from the message, and we'll put it into according to the database based on the client. This is current real time that I am using it. Right? Good, Raghu. Good, you got it. Yeah. So if the consumer is done, will it provide mechanism a dead letter channel? Yes, Anil. Yes, it will. We have, I think if you're asking the question, I think you have experience on it. So definitely you have a dead letter channel, but here we call it as dead letter queue, DLQ. So all kind of problematic messages, if the consumer is not able to consume it, all these kind of things will be moved to this dead letter channel queues. Yes. Okay. No. See. That's why I don't use these words called dead letters. Saura, don't worry. We will see that in SQS. That's why I don't go introduce the new words. So Anil has experience on this queue. That is why he asked his own language. So that's why I responded to him his own language. ESB connector. Are we using anything? What is that ESB connector, Krishna? I don't know. Okay, put it. I'll take it. Okay, guys. So next is here management tools. Yeah, messenger stop and start. SNS can be. Yes, Prashant, you're right. Yes, you can manage. You can. No. You cannot manage stop service. The Krishna, it will be running all the time. You just use it and then use consume the messages from the queue. And Prashant, SNS can be used for push notification. SNS is only for push notifications only, right? So SNS is push-based systems. Yes, you're right. We can push notifications to your mobiles. We can push the notifications to your laptops, to the emails, whatnot. You can send a lot. Okay, guys, see here. Next is important thing is CloudWatch. Guys, what is this? CloudWatch. Guys, write it down. CloudWatch basically, okay, hold on. CloudWatch basically, okay, see, you have the EC2 instance running, yeah. You have the EC2 instance running. And the EC2 instance is the CPU and memory is going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it is getting stuck on 90% and 80%, sometimes 95%. Do you care? Do you need to care about that? You should. You don't care about that. You should care it, right? Definitely, you should care it. How the message is, how the EC2 instance is performing, right? Because we never know. It is going. Beeping is up and low, up high. BP is high down to your EC2 instance, and all of a sudden you get high BP and it's dhamal. You should know, right? How the BP is going up and down for the machine. So for us also we have the machines and all. Everything you'll see in the monitor. But the thing is here, guys, in AWS should be some service who will be monitoring your AWS resources, not only EC2 instance, the entire AWS resources, whatever we're using it, there should be someone who will be monitoring it. And who will monitor that? Cloud Watch. The name itself says watch. The what is that? The purpose of the Cloud Watch is to watch the AWS resources. That is called Cloud Watch. That is called Cloud Watch. It watches your CPU performance, and then whenever it is watching, let's say whenever it watches, guys, let's say you have EC2 instance and the EC2 BP is going up to 90%, and you should get informed, nah? CloudWatch will monitor that, and who will inform you? Which service will inform you? Can someone tell that? SNS. You will get a notification. See how you can integrate this now, right? So CloudWatch will monitor it, and then we will be configuring a notification, and whenever it is touching 90%, you will get an email notifications. That was the use of SNS, and this is CloudWatch. So CloudWatch is used for watching purpose. And you have CloudTrail. Guys, what is this? You have a CloudTrail. CloudTrail is basically guys, it will also monitor it. It will also monitor it, but it will monitor the entire AWS. What is happening with the entire AWS? Each and every point it will record. But CloudWatch will, if we tell to the CloudWatch, hey, CloudWatch monitor EC2, and it will monitor EC2 only. And CloudTrail monitors the entire AWS. What is happening in the entire account, everything it will record. You see the difference? Okay, so let me give you a real-time example that I always give to all my batches so that you will connect easily. So let's say, let me relate this. Guys, everyone, most of the people go to the gym. I give this example. Gym, right? Yeah. Many people go gym. Okay, I don't talk about the girls here. Let me take the guys. Krishna, Prashant, Tapas, Sumit and all. Okay. Guys, I used to also go to the gym here in Hyderabad, here itself. And I always see some nasty things happening in the gym all the time. For example, I go to the gym and then I'll ask the trainer that, hey coach, so what I should do today? And he tells that, okay, do 50 push-ups and do 50 sit-ups and 50 pull-ups, and then walk, do the cycling for 20 minutes and then jogging for 20 minutes, and he'll give the big list. Okay, so what I do basically, and then I finish this, and then I'll ask him like, oh, what to do. Okay, take 20 kgs dumbbell and then do this way, do this biceps. And then I started doing the bicep. And the thing is, when you know guys, right? If we do this 10 or 15, the 16th we cannot take it up, and then we expect the trainer to come and give the support to lift up. Do you agree? Yes, right? And when I ask, when we are in this dangerous position, and when we are in this position that we are gonna die, and the trainer will always say that, hey, I don't. So from somewhere he will be there and he'll say that, do it. Whereas for the girls, I don't know, that most of the trainers will be near to the girls only. And the girl will be taking 2 kilograms of dumbbell and she will be doing like, and then the trainer will be giving support to her. Salah, we are dying there with 25 kilograms of dumbbell there, right? And and this trainer is giving support for the girl for 2 kilograms of dumbbell, that too single dumbbell. Do you agree? Right, guys, I'm just, this wherever I go, this happens all the time. Right? This was all right. But I saw at least that's a very practical thing. I saw at least, right? It might be wrong or okay. Just imagine this. So here, the trainer might. So the trainer might be monitoring the girl. The trainer is monitoring the girl, right? Yeah. Okay, I see. Okay, the trainer is monitoring the girl. Guys, here I can say that the girl is AWS resource and the trainer is CloudWatch. The trainer, whoever he wants to monitor, he will be monitoring it. The people who will be doing the workouts, all these things, these are all like AWS resources. In the gym, all the persons who are working out is AWS resources, and the trainer is CloudWatch, right? And the trainer is CloudWatch, and the trainer is going and watching the resource in his gym. how he is doing. So what are the things that he will be monitoring, not for girl but in general, right? So how much dumbbell he's getting, and how much he's doing, how much he's taking, how much is the time and all, he will be monitoring it. So I would be relating here, the trainer is the cloud watch, and then the person, or she or he, is a AWS resources. And now guys, CloudWatch is monitoring the resource here. The gym, the trainer is monitoring the girl, but there will be someone who will be monitoring the trainer here. CC camera, right? All kind of feast doing by the trainer will be handled by or recorded by the CC camera. The CC camera is for the entire gym. Whatever is happening in the entire gym is recorded by the CC camera, and that CC camera is CloudTrail. I hope you got it now. You know, right? Difference, right? So the trainer is also doing the monitoring, and CloudWatch is also doing the monitoring. But the trainer is monitoring the resources, and then the CloudTrail, that CC camera, is monitoring the entire AWS environment, not only one. Right? So yeah, okay, thanks. Right? So that is the difference between CloudWatch and CloudTrail. Let me give the same example. Now there is something called config, AWS config. Yeah, and config. So guys, here now we understood CloudWatch is the trainer and the resource is the girl, right? Resource is the girl, or a boy or guy, whatever, and then CC camera is CloudTrail. Now tell me guys, now okay, this trainer told to her that, hey, you do this 2 kilograms, 2 kg of dumbbell 5 times, right? And then move it to 5 kilograms, right? And then move it to 10 kilograms. And then she need to change all these things, right? And then trainer will leave her, and then he will go to some other person. And the thing is here, she will be doing 2 kilograms of dumbbell workout, and all of a sudden directly she went to the 10 kilograms, and she skipped 5 kilograms dumbbell. And trainer came back to her, and he asked, hey, did you finish the 2 kilograms? She said yes. Did you finish the 5 kg dumbbell? Yes. But she hasn't done that. But trainer knows that. CloudWatch monitors that change? No. CloudWatch doesn't monitor the changes. If you monitor the changes, then go for this config. The config is used to monitor the changes. CloudWatch monitors the resource, and CloudTrail monitors the entire thing. You got it now? The difference between all these things? Right? Perfect. So keep this, write it somewhere, right? This example, so that you don't forget in your lifetime. Right? So CloudWatch monitor these resources. CloudTrail, so track the usage history of all AWS resources, what is happening in the entire AWS. And Cloud Config is for tracking the changes. Right? Tracking the changes. Let's say in load balancer, we have, before the load balancer, we have firewall. No? For example, real time I'm saying. For that firewall, you have allowed only to allow port 80. And someone, your junior, changed this port 80 to 90. How do you know these changes? Your services will stop working, your application stopped working. Who does? Whenever you see, oh, someone stupid changed from 80 to 90, but how do we know that it is changed? We know that it is changed, but how do we identify? Is config. Right? And then you have EC2 instance, and you want to know the sugar levels and BP levels of the EC2 instance. What do you choose? What do you do? Use it. For your EC2 instance, you want to see the memory hikes and then CPU hikes and all. So which service do you choose? CloudWatch, CloudTrail, or Config? It is CloudWatch because you are monitoring the resources directly. And if you want to know what is happening in the entire AWS environment for auditing purpose, for logging purpose, for tracking purpose, which one to use? CloudTrail is the BAP of everything. Everything it will have it. It will record everything. Right? So that is the management, that with things that we'll be using it here, CloudWatch and CloudTrail. Is this clear? Excellent. Triple CCs, huh? Good. I'll talk about the support soon. And guys, these are all additional things that if we have a time, we will go with this migration tools, because whatever we have discussed will take so many days, right? Those are all the very, very important services that we must and should learn, right? So these are all for migration related. Guys, if you want to migrate a database from on-premises to AWS, so there is a tool called DMS, that meaning to migrate the databases. And if you want to migrate the servers, you have SMS, that meaning server migration service. There are so many types that you can migrate. But here is like there is a service provided by the AWS itself, and then it will automatically migrate all your on-premises servers to EC2 instances directly. And then you have a AFTP, SFTP. What is that? SFTP meaning Secure File Transfer Protocol, where guys in S3 we used to put our objects, right, files. If you want to do FTP file transfer using file transfer to S3, you can set up this AWS transfer service to just move the FTP, doing the FTP to S3. That's all. And then we have something called DevOps tools. Yes, it's a service, Prashant. This is DMS, SMS, SFTP, all are services only. And DevOps tools, I don't talk here now because this is related to DevOps, guys. I would recommend to go for the DevOps. They will be talking about all these things, but definitely I'll talk about this in one of the service. What is code commit, what is code build, what is code pipeline, what is code deploy and all. I'll be definitely talking about and give the insight on all these things. But it is not now, it is not the right time, because I need to talk about life cycle of DevOps and all, which is not now. So guys, do you remember what kind of supports that support plan did you choose while creating the AWS and accounts? Basic, right? Everyone chose basic. So yes, there are different types of support plans in AWS. Basic support, developer support, enterprise, business support, and enterprise support. Guys, for now, everyone should use, must and should use basic support. Everyone should use basic support, right? And then we have a developer support where you need to pay for some $30 per month, right? And then you have business supports that you need to pay hundreds, and you have enterprise supports where you need to pay $15,000 per month. Sorry. Which one do you choose? Basic only, right? If you just pusuk selected this enterprise support, it's gone, right? So the thing is, these are all the trials. It is no pay as you use. No. The support is not like that. Sairam, support is not it's not a service, right? It's a support. So guys, that's what I said. If follow my instructions, don't play with all these kind of extra things that we will be end up with the big bills, right? So just go on what I have told to do and all, right? So everyone knows that we have this basic support, and we'll be using the basic support. We will consider poor. Okay, yeah. So guys, but in your companies, it depends upon your company how critical. If you want to, what is support meaning? If you want to get a support from AWS, you got stuck in some technical things, you got stuck in some services, and you're not getting any ideas, you can get in touch with AWS. If it is basic support, it is like free. That meaning you don't expect to get support immediately, huh? Yes, right. So it is free. Sometime they'll, but developer support is you're paying for it, and you have SLS for that. You have 12 working hours. Within 12 working hours, they will reply to your emails. If you go for enterprise and business supports, enterprise meaning you are paying bloody $15,000 per month, and they will come you like, you are a raja, and you have an assistant, like, if you say, hey AWS, he will be there and resolve the issue within 15 minutes, any kind of problems. So based on your requirement, your company requirement, you have to choose this. Remember, you have to pay for that if you choose it, but now here we'll be using only basic support. I used basic support when I accidentally accumulated 70 of charges from configuring RDS incorrectly, but they are very nice though to adjust the charge. Yes, Team Chan. Yes, Team Chan. Yes, but remember, this would be happening only 1 or 2 times maximum 1 time or 2 times. But AWS is very kind. Just in case if it is like, you might say like you are a student and then you are doing something, and then but in general this will be done only for 1 or 2 time max, but they don't adjust this, but definitely do it for 1 time. Yes. So yeah, so guys, and finally what I would say is, guys, AWS has so many services, but remember, you no need to learn all the services. As I told you earlier, we no need to learn IoT, we no need to learn machine language, we no need to learn all these things, satellite things, and no, right? I don't teach Alexa here, I don't do codings, right? So whatever is required, guys, whatever is required to get the jobs, and whatever is required to clear the certifications, right? Whatever, all the companies just use the default services, everything will be covering in our course, right? So whenever you go to the AWS services, they have hell lot of services, but remember, don't panic. Don't panic by seeing all these services. Don't think that, oh my gosh, I need to learn all these things. No, whatever I teach you, those are more than enough. I told you that this is this course I have designed such a way that till 5-6 years of experience guys can also survive in the companies. That's how I have designed the course. So the first service that we will be taking and going into the deep would be, what do you think? Which service? These all services taught as a course. Which services? Whatever I discussed. Yeah. No one will teach that. No, anywhere in the world they don't teach all the services. So the thing is here, it will go like this. See, we will be learning all the services, whatever is required. You mean the basement, and you will be good in all the services, and definitely based on the requirement, you will be pulling up. Based on the service requirement, you need pulling up the services. Let's say you have went to NASA, sweetie. If you got a job in NASA, definitely you'll be working with the satellite related things. And if you have if you join the TV9, definitely you'll be working with the media services, right, Rambabu? Right? So but the thing is here, we don't learn all these things now, because there might be people, those who don't know much on it, right? So what we need, we will be shaping you with all the AWS services, whatever is required, and you will be good on top of it, and you will be eligible. You will be having a very good confidence that you will pick any new services and you will explore on it and you can set it up. That is the goal, vision. So if anyone in anywhere in the world, if they say that, hey, we will teach all the services, that is bullshit. Don't believe it. There might be few people, they might be concentrating only on IoT, might be yes. Concentrating only satellite, might be yes, but I haven't seen those. Guys, see, I have been also trained on this AWS in London, right? I have from AWS itself, directly itself. So there itself, they have not gave me the full services, guys. So just imagine. So, no. So guys, yeah, I was asking this question. So many people say EC2, but I'm not gonna take EC2. Before going to EC2, first we need to deal with the services and accounts, right, and all, right? Right, Raghu? Yes, SG and all. I'll be talking in EC2, right? Giving the permissions, root accounts, how to save your accounts and all, right? So what is the service I am talking about? Did you got an idea? IAM. So wise people will choose IAM as a first service to talk about, because first we need to deal with your accounts. We need to make secure your accounts, right? And then give the proper permissions, and then we'll jump to the next topics. Right? So from Monday onwards, guys, we'll be talking about IAM. And IAM is very small service, very easy service, just setting up the accounts and giving the permissions and learning a little bit on it, right? And then we will moving to the next services one by one. Sir has a unique way of teaching. yeah. Thanks for that. Guys, now don't leave. Now we have now you know most of the things on AWS now. Let me show you the services in AWS. Then you say that, what? I know all these services. I know about all these services. You will be super confident by saying this, I know all these services. But the thing is, from Monday, we'll be going deep dive on each and every service that we have discussed. So that is the goal. So you want to see how the AWS console will look like, right? So going to the AWS ready, steady. Before going to that, don't panic, right? And see here. So this was the console when usually I worked in 2015 before. Guys, just say yes or no, whatever I say. Do you know EC2? Everyone. Lambda, S3, Storage Gateway, Glacier, CloudFront, RDS, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache, Redshift, VPC, Direct Connect, Route 53, Identity Access Management, Trusted Advisor, CloudTrail, Config, CloudWatch, Beanstalk, right? Code deploy that we're going to talk, right? SQS, and then SES, SNS. What, man? You have all kind of services, mostly 90% out here. Yeah? You are not new to the AWS now. The only thing is we'll be going deep dive now. That's all. Are you getting confidence? Looks like simple. Right? Yeah. So I was very happy that thinking, oh, I know 95% of the services here. I just only new thing like, Zocalo, something newly came, right? And then there are only few couple of things that I need to learn. So I was very happy. I thought very happy. Oh, yes. But in 2017, it changed like this. It has changed like this. I said, what the fish? And I saw something new services like, oh, machine learning, recognition, Poly, Alexa, game related IoT. Then I thought, oh, this is not my piece of cake. But let's see. But you know what? AWS has grown and grown and grown like that and got a a big business and number one. And and you see the latest console with the scroll bar here, those many services are getting added. So don't panic. So at least the AWS employees will also don't know all the services. So each and every services have their own team, right? So it is not necessary that you need to talk about all these services, whatever is here, and leave it on me, and then I will be taking up whatever is required, right? How you used to learn new things, right? So it's depend. Sort of whenever you join any company, you know all the things, and then all of a sudden you got a requirement that you need to use, like workspaces, and you have not learned about workspaces. Just Google the workspaces, and you know the basic thing, or you know whatever we have learned. Definitely that will be useful. The only thing is how to implement it. That's all. Just go and do a trial and error. And workspaces is just like virtual desktop on your AWS. And then like this you'll be learning one by one service. It will not be hard for that. Okay, great. So guys, that is all for today. I took a couple of minutes extra. Apologies for that. And from Monday onwards, don't miss the topics. That's the first service that gonna talk about is IAM, and we'll be learning IAM from Monday. Guys, that is all for today, and have a nice Sunday. Or you want to take a pick? Huh? Okay, sorry, take it. Take this first. Yes, Tapa, send me an email. Is this done? And second one is this. No. Send me a mail. Send me a mail saying that, sir, please send a material on services or something, and I will send it. Okay, guys. So that is all for today, and I'll see you on Monday with the IAM topic. Until then, take care. Bye bye, and have a nice day. Happy weekend.